Hi, I'm Danielle. I'm one of your Flik dietitians. Today I'm making Tomatillo-Poblano Adobo rubbed pork loin. This recipe is really easy because that's my go-to, but we're just going to make a paste in the food processor back here. We'll use poblano pepper, so here's a nice poblano. And I've got my tomatillos, which look like this. Looks kind of like a green tomato when I take the wrapper off. And then I've already got my spices measured out, so plenty of spices here in this Mexican-inspired dish. So smoked paprika, chili powder, black pepper, ground cumin, cinnamon, cloves, and ground coriander. And then I've got some oregano and some garlic. So let's get started. I just blended up the marinade, and I'm just gonna pour it over my fresh pork. Normally I would say don't be afraid to get your hands messy, and I would probably use my hands to kind of rub this onto the pork, but with spicy pepper sometimes that can make your fingers burn. So if you have gloves, definitely put some gloves on. I do not, so I'm just gonna spread this evenly over my pork, and then I'm gonna turn it over and spread it evenly over the other side of the pork too. My pork chops have been marinating and they look really good. Here's a nice close-up of them. But I'm actually going to transfer them into a bigger dish. You want to be able to get some air around each of the pork chops so they cook a bit more evenly. And then I'll sprinkle them with a little bit of salt and stick them in my preheated oven. So my pork loin looks pretty good. I'm just going to test it with a thermometer really quickly. You want it to be 155 degrees Fahrenheit in the thickest part, and then you know that your pork is cooked all the way through. This looks great. I'm just going to transfer the pork loin onto this cutting board to let it rest for a few minutes. Now I'm going to pour a little bit of white wine into the pan to deglaze it. Yes, I have a can of white wine, which I will be more than happy to finish off later. But I'll pour a little in here, and then using some kind of spatula, you just kind of want to get up anything that's baked onto the sides. I'm going to transfer this to a stock pot, and I also have this beef demi-glace that I made yesterday. It does require that you plan ahead a little bit. I used about a quart of beef stock and a few tablespoons of red wine, and then simmered it on the stove until it had reduced a lot. So I have about a cup here now. And that is like the quick and dirty demi-glace method. And just like that, we've got this really rich demi-glace, and it's going to pair perfectly with our Tomatillo-Poblano Adobo rubbed pork loin. Thanks for tuning in. For more recipes and wellness tips, be sure to visit Flik Hospitality on Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram.